I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurrung people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome to my channel. Today I am here to film a January TBR video. Typically I do not film TBR videos because I mood read a lot, but because it is January I am on term break, so I don't go back to work until the 28th of January this year. I have heaps of time to read, and I have also decided that this year I'm going to have a couple of self-imposed little challenges for myself, kind of like reading goals, but they're not quite so restrictive. And if you followed my channel for any length of time, you know that when I set myself a self-imposed challenge, it usually lasts around 6 months. So we'll see how this goes. Most of this has to do with trying to read what I already have. So I have a TBR cart, which I'll put a picture on the screen, and I have a challenge that is related to reading the physical books that I have on my TBR. And I also have one for my Kindle. This doesn't include other challenges that I might do. I like to have some different ways of trying to pick up things that have been sitting on TBRs for long times. I have over 400 unread books sitting on my Kindle, so I need to try and find some way to get through them. And typically what happens is I either love them or I get rid of them, and that's fine. So this is sort of where this TBR idea has come from. If I don't stick to it, there's no punishments, there's nothing going on with that. I just want to try and encourage myself to pick up other things, not just new releases and things that I get recommended and automatically go, oh, I'm going to read that because someone told me to. That's a thing. So my monthly Kindle challenge for myself at the moment basically features picking a random number which will give me a page on my Kindle. I have my Kindle set up so that I can see the covers of the books, so I see 6 covers at any given point in time, and then I used a random number generator to choose a number between 1 and I think it was 41. The number that came up was 31, so page 31 on my Kindle at the time of filming this featured 6 books that included Rescuing Emily by Susan Stoker. I've read quite a few of her Silverstone books, and this one is part of a different series, I think, but she writes romantic suspense. I also have Into This River I Drown by TJ Klune. I love anything by TJ Klune, so this one will probably be another gut punch, but I will read it because it's TJ Klune. I also have Turn the Tide. This one is a romantic suspense anthology that includes Katie Ruggell, Adriana Anders, Connie Mann, and Juno Rushiden. I picked it up because of Adriana Anders. I came to Adriana Anders through her Whiteout series, which is romantic suspense, but I have since read some of her contemporary novellas as well. I'm really intrigued to pick this one up because I think this one is part of the Whiteout series, maybe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on these things. We know I don't do that much research because I like going into things blind. Then there is Wild Child by Audrey Carlin, which I think is a contemporary romance, judging by the cover. I also have The Curious Soul of Nimue Fairchild by Daniel DeLorme. Daniel DeLorme is an Australian author. I have read a couple of his things in the past, so this one I think might be novella length, but again, don't quote me on that. So we'll give it a shot. And then the last one is another contemporary, Forking Around by Erin Nichols. So hopefully I'll read a couple of those and clear them off the Kindle. My second self-imposed challenge is my TBR cart challenge, which is basically every month I'm going to pick a couple of letters of the alphabet and try and find some books on my cart that feature that letter in the title, and I'm going to aim to read those books. This month I went with A and B, start of the year, and I picked 6 things, 3 for A, 3 for B. They all happen to be quite large books and typically not my current choice of genre, but that's okay because I have more time to read at the moment. So for my picks for A, I have A Lady's Formula for Love by Elizabeth Everett. This is a historical romance, and I had this on my 2021 anticipated releases list. I did buy a physical copy and obviously haven't read it yet, so I would like to pick this one up. I also have Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. Admittedly, I did buy this for the cover, but I have been known to pick up Greek myth retellings every now and then, so I haven't read one for a while, and I'm very eager to give this one a shot. And then finally there is A Touch of Malice by Scarlett St. Clair. This one is the 3rd book in her Hades and Persephone series. I would like to read this just to wrap up that trilogy. I don't plan on reading any more in it, but I'm a bit of a completionist if I happen to own the books, so I would like to try this one. And then for the letter B, I have Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho. This is a book that I've heard some really good things about. I absolutely adore this cover to pieces. I can't even remember what it's about. I'm pretty sure this one has ghosts and revenge and things like that in it. So I would really, really like to read this one in January. Similarly, although I don't know if this one has ghosts in it, is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Mostly I just want to read this because this is Rebecca Roanhorse, and I have never not enjoyed a Rebecca Roanhorse book. So I know that the next book comes out this year and I would like to catch up before then. And then finally, this book was actually a gift that I received for Christmas, and I know plenty of people have read it. I actually don't know anything about what it's about. My teaching partner for 2022 bought me The Bronze Horseman, which she absolutely loves, and she wanted me to read it. So I promised I would read it in January so that we could talk about it when school went back. So I kind of have to do it, but I'm pretty sure it's historical. So, oh, it's World War II. Okay. Typically when I read historical novels, they're set in World War II, so this should be fine. I will have a bunch of buddy reads / rereads happening in January. I will probably be reading the next couple of books in the Kate Daniels series for the Kate Daniels read along. I don't know which books those are at the moment because I am filming this in December. I still have a couple of books left to read for January's live show. So it could be those books, or it could be the books for February's live show. Suffice to say, we're somewhere between 8.5 and 10 in the Kate Daniels series. So have your best guess at which books I'll be reading this month. I don't know. And then I was talking to Kirsty from Melbourne on My Mind, and we both share a love of Matthew Riley books. I made a comment that I really wanted to reread Ice Station, and she suggested a buddy read. So I don't know when we're reading these in January. We could have already read them by now, but I will be rereading Ice Station, which is the very first Matthew Riley book that I ever read. I've read this multiple times. It's probably one of my most reread books. It is chunky as all hell, but I'll read this in one sitting because it is that fast paced. And I can't remember if Kirsty and I said that we were going to buddy read Area 7, but I will be rereading Area 7 afterwards as well, because it is the follow-up to Ice Station and another favourite Matthew Riley book of mine. I will not be reading the third book. It is the only Matthew Riley book that I have never ever reread because it makes me so angry. But these two I love. And then finally, I have a couple of Netgalley arcs that I should probably try and read in January. Technically, there's only one that I really need to read this month, and that is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett Sinclair, which was her November 2021 release, which I haven't got to yet. This one I got through the Bonkers Romance podcast's Temple of Defiant Joy. I would like to try and read it as soon as possible. And then I have Sink or Swim by Annabeth Albert, which comes out in February, and also A Matter of Hive and Death, which is a cozy mystery, which I have not read one for ages, so I'm really excited. I used to read tons of these and I haven't read them in years. There will be other books that I read during the month, probably things that come from my anticipated reads list for January. I know I'll definitely be reading Something Fabulous by Alexis Hall because it's Alexis Hall. Jessica Gaziella will probably have something out in January as well. There'll be Electric Idol and Invisible Quarantine Alien, things that I have on pre-order. So like there will be other things other than this, but these are sort of my self-imposed challenges that I would like to try and read before the end of the month. Stay tuned, you'll probably be hearing more about these books as the month goes on. In the comments below, I would love to hear what you are planning on reading in January. Or if you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave any kind of emoji that represents something cold, because it is currently very hot here in Australia and I am not a fan. So leave some cold emojis down below. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.